You are now entering the MuseCast.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the MuseCast, episode 79, and I'm extremely excited to announce our guest today, Mr. Mike Sanchez, the legend, acid bath guitar player, Agents of Oblivion guitar player.
Earth and sky, your cradle, earth and sky, into you, and death beside me. I burrow through the dust in your skull. But I cannot seem to find your soul.
Mike, welcome. Thanks for coming on, man. And first question right out the gate, I gotta ask you, I've been dying to ask you, what's it like to come back and into the kind of whirlwind you guys are currently going through right now, man?
It's surreal. It's very different, you know. It's something we need to get used to, but it's a beautiful thing, you know. Seeing the fans come out, it's an energy that we've never felt before. It's a very pure thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. And do you mean an energy that you're feeling on stage, or just from the fan love that's kind of happened over the decades?
All the above.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man, because how long it'd been, by my count, I want to say close to 30 years, I want to say.
Guess I'd be that fucking old. Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're not too far past us. I discovered you guys when I was in high school, and you guys were played for me by a fellow friend that was introducing me to a bunch of really just getting me into heavier music in general. Mm-hmm. So you guys were like one of the first bands that got me into heavier music, and the first thing I ever heard was Scream of the Butterfly, and I was just like, what is this?
A creature made of sunshine, our eyes were like the sky. Rabbit howls like something else, we twist to a lullaby. The scalpel shines and God's sunshine, the street lights whisper pain. Down here near the poison stream, our God is gone insane. She smells like a child with flowers in her hair, with blood on her hands, and to the city stairs she feels so dark.
I'd never heard anything like it, dude. And then I just went down a rabbit hole with both your albums from there on out and just kept listening. So you guys are a huge pillar for me. So this is extremely exciting to get to talk to you and pick your brain a little bit about, one of my questions is just like, how long did you guys work on those albums? Because it seems like maybe they came together relatively quick, or am I wrong with that?
Very quick.
Wow.
It's a strange thing, you know. We couldn't make up our minds on anything. Couldn't make up our minds on an album cover. Couldn't make up our minds on artwork. Couldn't do shit, but we can write pretty fast, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always good songwriters, all of us. You know, every single one of us were good songwriters. Which kind of blended it all together because we all had these different techniques. Which we kind of like fed off of each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone would bring in a riff or a chord pattern or a melody, and we just work around that, and it come out of it, you know. Songs would come out of it.
Yeah.
So that basically started what we were trying to do anyway, which you can tell the difference between the first record and the second record.
Yes.
It's a little more defined.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Were you guys excited were you guys proud of the second album, and did it feel like you were evolving, or did you feel like you were kind of just exploring more in that same direction, but that it was just getting more refined?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. It was getting more towards the doomier, I guess, type, um,
Mm-hmm.
slow type, melodic, black-hearted hippie kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was starting to get into that, um, but it never really surfaced. So um, that's about it on that. I mean, it was just over with by that time.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. It's this the tone of both the albums, and particularly the second album, that dark, you know, dark hippie tone you kind of mentioned. There's nothing else to me that really scratches that same itch that you guys had as far as the overall just dynamic sound, the way it was recorded. I feel like it wasn't locked into any grid. It doesn't feel like it's to a click. It feels like it's all natural. It speeds up and slows down in the right ways. It's like, to me as a fan of 30 something years now, I think I heard of you guys about the same time Ash did. I was probably a little younger. It's like the perfect live setting recording almost. It feels like
Yeah.
you guys were captured at your best in almost a live setting. Was that kind of the way it was done, or is that totally off?
I don't quite remember, to be honest. It was done sort of a live setting, but we did overdubs.
Mhm.
We did a bunch of overdubs. We did a bunch of shit on that record. I can't really remember. I can't recall. It was such a long time ago.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Keith Falgout did that record for us, and yeah, it was just we was trying to do a lot because all of our records are like 70 fucking minutes long.
Mhm.
It's kind of ridiculous, but it's like we don't know how to end a song.
That's great though.
Yeah,
It's like
I
an
love it.
ongoing atmospheric experience. It's like a tale that doesn't stop. I mean, I couldn't help but feel like when I was listening to it that it was kind of, and look, fans look into this stuff more than maybe actually happens. So I don't know. I'm just going to pose the question, but it felt like you guys were tapping in to some kind of energy there, that it was like more than just a few guys getting together and writing songs, that it was like what you came out of it with. I think it's a testament to how much your fan base grew after you guys broke up, that the albums kept going, and you guys, if I'm not mistaken, had, and I don't know the details, and I don't mean to pry, but you had kind of a weird record deal that didn't give you guys as much control over maybe what you wanted to do with the songs as you'd like, maybe. But people couldn't access your music. It wasn't as readily available in the
Yep.
world of streaming coming together. Like, you couldn't find it. You had to like teach people about this band that on hard disk that we had discovered back in the day, and like, blow people's minds in a real tangible, physical, present way. But it was very hard to share it. And so even still, there was like people would just like find out about Acid Bath, and you guys only made 2 albums, and it seems like relatively quick. And I just don't get how you guys pulled off what you did.
I don't either. It
Yeah.
was crazy times back then.
Mm,
Um,
Hmm.
it was fun. It was really fun at those times. I mean, we were young, very very young.
hmm.
Signed the fucked up contract. Um, just blindly signing this contract that probably we should have never signed. Um, but it is what it is. And now we're just trying to enjoy what's going on now.
Yeah, this is exciting. You
Yeah.
guys are playing again.
I have a theory, and maybe you can confirm, maybe you can't. But so I got to see you guys with my son, who's a diehard Acid Bath, Agents of Oblivion fan himself at 15, which is kind of like following in my footsteps. And I told him, I said, acid bath's somewhat the forbidden fruit of metal. You know, there's some lyrical content in there that it's no secret that some parents would have reserves about their kids listening to it. But my son's a musician, so there's no concern there.
That's
But
great. That's great.
yeah, no, he was right there with me. Right, we weren't in the front row. There were some folks from Louisiana in front of us who stayed all day. But my theory is, maybe you confirm this: your music, Acid Bath's music, got finally, after so many years, put on to streaming platforms, and this was relatively recently. It wasn't, because it, like Ash said, I have all the albums. I've got the Acid Bath CDs, I've got the Agents of Oblivion CDs, and I remember having to order them off of the record label's website to get them. But then sometime in the last, I think, 24 months, your music got put on streaming platforms, and I think the response to that, where you can track just how many people actually listen and care and put it through the spin, was that one of the catalysts to tell you guys, like, hey, maybe we should kick this rock back down the road and see where it goes?
Not really. I mean, it all came as a surprise. You know, I just get this phone call one day from Sammy. There was this tribute act that was doing some cover songs of ours, and I get this phone call from Sammy saying, hey, you know, do you want to start this kind of like tribute thing with a, you know, whatever, another song? And I was like, nah, if anything, you know, we need to call Dax and see if Dax would want to do it. Mm-hmm. So Sammy and I made a decision to call Dax, and, you know, so Sammy called Dax, and Dax says yes. And we was like, well, shit, if he says yes, we're going to do it. So that's basically how it got done, you know. There was no, like, beating around the bush, you know. It was just making a phone call. Yes, we're doing it. We did have a good friend of ours called Tomas. His name was Tomas Viator. He's from down the bayou. Really great friend. And he passed away. So we know that we don't have very long, you know. Mm. So I guess if any time would be, the time would be now, you know. Mm.
Yeah.
Can't be that much longer, you know. I mean, I'm not going to be 60 years old up there. No, I just can't.
I mean, you know, if Maynard from Tool can do it, I think Mike Sanchez can do it too, brother.
Well, we're nothing compared to Tool, but I'm excited that the fans have come out to see us in this way. You know, it's really exciting to see these shows getting sold out in this fashion. You know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really, really happy for you, particularly because out of the three core members from Acid Bath that are in the group, you know, you, Sammy, and Dax. I know, you know, Sammy has been doing his thing with Goat Whore pretty consistently, I think, for the last 25 years. I've followed Dax's career. I got, you know, all of his solo albums, great stuff. Never got to see him on tour or anything. But I know those two were fairly active, you know, as far as being out in music. But I hadn't heard anything from Mike Sanchez until the Acid Bath reunion. Have you been involved in any kind of music since the splitter?
Nothing worth talking about, you know. I'm a song guy, right? I'm not really a metal guy. I don't really like you know, heavy metal much. I don't like, which is kind of strange. I do like some metal. I like all metal. I mean, all music. Basically, I'm a song guy. I'm not a band guy. So I don't know any fucking names of any songs. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of with you.
I get fucked up between like Napalm Death and Cannibal Corpse, and I don't know what's the difference, or even how you figure the difference out. You know?
Yeah.
So. And in that respect, I'm not your ordinary, you know, heavy metal fucking dude. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
your everyday, you know.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
translated into why the music is what it is, because I'm not really a metal guy either. I mean, I like heavier music, but, you know, I mean, I love Tool. It's funny, Tool came up just because literally it was the same, in the same night I was introduced to Tool and Acid Bath, literally in the same night. And so I walked away and got the albums, you know, for both you guys right after that. So whenever I, you know, they're closely related, but it's very musical. Like you guys had this heavy, you have a heavy sound and it gets in some wild, like intense places, but then it goes to these like planes of like crazy beauty, like this dark beauty that's very visually like strong. I mean, it's like you can't listen to it and not get picked up into some kind of visual space, or at least for me, that's my experience with it. So you saying that you're not fully metal and that you know you're a song guy and like I think that's what translates. I think you obviously played a large part in making that sound be what it ended up being.
Yeah, I mean, I've written quite a few songs. Um, but I need to thank Woodwright and Michael Klein, and also Prior Cabinets, Black Arts, Toneworks, and also Jeff Reshort for Carondelet pickups. I like to mention those guys, and also
Sure. Yeah.
my cousin Ricky Wiggins for giving me this sick ass fucking V.
Nice.
So
Man.
I love it. It's a Woodwright V, right?
yeah,
So Ash, if you don't know,
I don't.
Woodwright Guitars is a custom guitar manufacturer. I'm a big guitar nerd, Mike, and I'm a big Brent Hines fan. My son and I are both big B. Hines fans from Mastodon. And B. Hines has a custom signature model from Woodwright.
Nice.
So does somebody's gonna kick me for not knowing his name. The vocalist and frontman for High on Fire has
Matt.
a real
Matt.
yeah, Matt has a really cool. It's a 9-string guitar.
Yeah.
So the
Oh
top,
my
the
God.
top,
We just seen it in Oakland. Yeah.
the top. It's like a 12 string on the top 3 strings, and then the
Yeah.
bottom 3 are normal. And man, they're so cool. They're like these super strat giant, old school double cutaway Gibson looking things.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah, sweet.
super cool. But I took some photos of you, Mike, when you were playing at Rockville, and I had to zoom in, and I saw that it was a Woodwright, and I got a little giddy because that's killer, man. How is it a custom made for you? Is it a individual, or is it one of their V lines?
Actually, it's a one of a kind. The headstock was put on wrong. It's supposed to be like a 2 and 4, but instead it's a 4 on 2. So the headstock is completely backwards. So they couldn't sell it. So he's like, "Well, I guess I'll give it to Mike." It's like, "I'll take it." So it just started from there, and now of course he's helping me out big time. All these guys are. So if it wouldn't be for Steve, Mike, Prior Cabinets, Nick, Black Arts, Toneworks, and Custom, and my cousin, and Jeff with the Courtney pickups. It's been a real pleasure working with these guys. They've been making it easy on me.
That's great.
That's awesome. Man.
That's really awesome.
But no matter how much heat I make, can't burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it down. Burn it. Bury your head deep in your sand. Your emotions just get one, I don't have more.
So, Mike, last weekend you guys were in California. Is that right? You played a show in California. How'd it go?
Oakland was fantastic. It's fantastic. I loved it. It was wonderful.
Awesome, man.
Oh yeah. And then so this is going to air this show we're talking in right now is going to air probably this weekend, probably Saturday. If it does get before Saturday, that means that sometime today when this airs, you're going to be at a big festival in Washington, right?
Yeah, we're going to be in Seattle at Marymore. You can see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Marymore Park.
And
So-
that's a go ahead, Ash.
I'm
I was
sorry,
just
yes.
I
Yeah,
was
that's
just go ahead, dude.
No, it's at Marymore Park in Seattle. Actually, it's Redmond, Washington. So it's on the outskirts. It's supposed to be a nice place, you know. I just hope it doesn't get too much rain.
Yeah.
It may get a little rain up there, so we'll
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
about it.
That's the area I'm from originally. I know it starts raining in like September and doesn't stop until July.
All
Nice.
right. Well,
But then I've got tickets to see you guys when your show after that on the 28th, sold out, Janice Landing, the only show in Florida outside of Welcome to Rockville over in Tampa. That's gonna be fun.
I'm sorry I lost you for a second.
No, I said your next show is in Tampa, sold out at the Janice Landing, the only Florida show outside of Welcome to Rockville.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to that one. That one
Yeah.
should be great.
My son and
Yeah.
I'll be there for that. We got tickets before they sold out. So you'll see us. We'll try to fight our way up to the front. I'm sure my son will be crowd surfing in there.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Man. That's
It's
awesome.
pretty cool. So are you guys are you doing more independent shows or are you hopping on more like full bills with other bands?
I don't know what the fuck we're doing, man. I'm
You're
serious.
selling out shows is what you're doing.
Is somebody,
apparently.
is somebody
I don't know.
calling you saying, Mike, you got to be in Seattle next week? You know, here's your
Yeah.
ticket. Be there. Show up.
Pretty much.
That's
I love
great. That's the
I
best.
love it.
Pretty much, you know. I mean, we have a little, you know, I guess some shows in the future that we know about, but every once in a while the agent will call and say, hey, add this. So, you know, we were supposed to do one show and then it's turned into what, fucking 20? So it's
Yeah.
not like a regular tour where you're doing a show every night or every other night. We're doing like one a week or something, you know, so it's really strange, you know, doing shows in these manners, you know, having to fly out and fly in. It's really great doing the shows, but it's a pain in the ass flying, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I bet.
but that's about it, you know. It's just strange playing once a week, more than, you know, I'm used to just playing 5 days, 6 days a week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it's always a big, nice, long break in between. So it's like boredom, then hurry up, then boredom, then hurry up, then boredom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So that's how it's been for the past couple, I guess, month.
But I mean, the turnouts are like, I just can only imagine. It's like, for instance, when I'm curious, did you guys, when you were touring before, you know, back in the day, were you touring the whole country or were you primarily touring more in the South?
No, we're going all over the country.
You were going all over, and like you know, I don't know. I was a teenager that was just discovering your guys' albums, but were you guys really picking up a lot of steam for people just showing up at shows across the country and knowing who you were back then, or did it happen after the fact?
The first,
Like now?
the first tour we got on, I think it was like 10 months. And we played with everyone from butt steak to anal cunt. I don't know, anal blast. All these fucked up names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
The Spowits, fucking crazy ass people like that, you know, butt steak. So just a bunch of fucked up bands and shit we played with. First of all, with just $50 in ice water. And then the second tour, I think we got on with, I think it was Brutal Truth and Pungent Stench. And that one was a little more inclined, to be a regular tour, even though it was a pretty crazy one. And that was a good 9-10 months.
Wow.
And then we went to Mexico about 3 weeks, and we can't even talk about that one. And then we did these fucking backed up DRI for like 10 months, and can't really talk about that one either. So,
Jeez, you guys were touring your asses off. I didn't realize how consistently you're playing. 10-month tours?
oh yeah, I'd say between 9, 10, 11 months. Yeah,
That is crazy.
I didn't have a place to stay back then, So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to just stay on the road because, I always had a place to stay on the road, When I came back home, I just had to, find somebody to stay with,
Yeah, man.
When did you start playing? I'm sorry, dude.
No, that would have been like 97, 98 in that.
I've been like 94, 95, 96.
95.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that was a while back. When did you start playing guitar, man? Did you start playing at a young? Well, obviously you were young playing then, but since you were a little kid, or you got into it, like how fast?
When I was 8.
You were playing since you were 8. Okay, all right, that makes sense.
What got you into it, Mike?
My grandfather. My grandfather was a picker. He played honky tonk music. And he taught me these chords. And I was kind of a gimmick. This little boy that could play guitar. He put this red fucking cowboy hat on my head and had this big ass acoustic guitar. And that F chord was so hard to play. And I remember the first gig I was playing with him, he'd tell me, he'd say, look, we're going to have a fight tonight, I said, but don't stop playing, right? So I was playing, all of a sudden these big fucking men starts fighting and shit. So I freeze. My grandpa fucking slaps me behind the head. He's like, play, motherfucker, play. So there's my life. It starts there,
Wow.
Man, that's a song right there, man.
That's crazy. So it was acoustic that he had you on at first, and then when did you start discovering your exploration with electric guitar?
I guess I was maybe 12, 13. My uncle, his name was Yancey. He gave me this tape, "We Sowed Our Sowed for Rock and Roll," by Black Sabbath, and I don't know, it just kind of changed my life, So I just learned every fucking song on there. I just learned it, And a month later, he came back. He's like, "You learned all these fucking songs?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And he's like, "God damn," So I kind of started, going into that realm, and then I became a little punk, like all teenagers do,
Yep.
Went through the whole scene of, being a rebellious bitch, then an addict, and everything else, and come full circle to being just a regular man again,
Yeah, totally.
Well, glad you made it out the other side. I know a lot of folks don't make that loop back around to the normal man part, and good on you for making that circle.
Thank you. That's right.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are back together and playing gigs again, and I hope it sustains for as long as you guys are up for doing it. And I think the fan base is there to do it for. With the electric guitar though, I'm kind of what did you get? What was like your first electric guitar? Was it like?
It was a Gibson Les Paul Jr.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
all right.
Yeah, nice. Was it P90 or a humbucker?
It was a humbucker. Yeah,
nice.
It was a really nice guitar. It was thin, and I had a younger brother. He's very jealous of me. He stabbed the shit out of it with a knife.
Oh,
so he fucked it all up. But it still played great, It's just that's just, it's just fucked up stories. But I mean, it still played great. Just had all these fucking scars all over it.
That's awesome. Do you
That's
still
kind
have
of
it?
cooler.
Do you still have it?
No, I
Oh,
sold it a long time ago.
that thing has got stories wherever it's at. If it could talk, I love it. You guys, so when I saw you guys live, one of the songs on your set was actually "Dead Girl" in the Agents of Oblivion version, right? Because when you and Dax did Agents after Esabath, you did Dead Girl, like a full-on band piece, not acoustic, and that's one of the highlights for me seeing it. What's it feel like playing? How did that one come into be in y'all's set?
Well, when Dax and I wrote the song, sort of like a country song, And if you really listen to it, it's sort of country,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dax has a beautiful voice and a wonderful way of portraying his melodies. But we always heard it as a rock song, also, So whenever we had gotten to the Agents of Oblivion, we just figured to try to make it into a rock song, even though for us, I think it was more of a country song than anything. On the Asabath version.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very different song. It's a different kind of song.
Yeah, it really changes the vibe from one version to the other, but I like both of them for what they are.
Like zombies eating dust in Mexico. Life dries cold beneath the dead soul lights. Yeah. Zombies eating dust in Mexico. Yeah. Where the dead sleep in dreams of
And my son actually told me, maybe you can give me some insight. My son told me one day that the song Ladybug on the Agents album, he told me one day, he said, Dad, that's like the perfect rock song. And I knew exactly what he meant. He said everything about it. Like when I think about, he's 14 telling me this at the time. He said, when I close my eyes and think of what a rock song should sound like, he said, I feel like Ladybug from Agents of Oblivion is like, it checks all the boxes.
Ladybug kisses the bones pushing through. Yeah. Sway with this wicked city, twisting and turning with you.
Was that one written with anything in mind, or was that kind of like, how did that one come about? I gotta ask so I can tell him.
That's Dax's song. Dax just came in one day and played this riff. It was sort of like, it was a little different, but it was basically the same thing. He's just changed it up more into a 4/4 timing. But that's something you would have to ask Dax, because that's pretty much all him. I have to give him all the credit for that song, because that's only just my solos and just overlaying what his foundation was, and that's a lot of like, that's the style that Dax and I had whenever we did the Agents, was more of that, more of layering over on top of melodies,
Mm-hmm.
more than just ripping something out,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's when you can get more musical, is whenever you can riff something. I mean, chord something out. Then once you do that, you can make those chords into a riff and make it heavy. Make it into whatever you want. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much your freedom. It's the only freedom we have is to create.
That's
Yeah, I'm a
true.
big fan of the creating stuff. I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's kind of like, to me, that I feel like my personal goal in life is to make stuff, you know, all kinds of creative acts. And it's like, that's where I feel the fulfillment zone. I do video production also, and it kind of stole me away from music for a few years. I ended up getting so into it. Now I get to do it all. But there's just so many ways to get to explore creating. And it's interesting that some people, I think people may, there are some things that aren't necessarily categorized as straight up art or artistic, but they're still super creative, and people don't necessarily identify that that's why they're so attracted to doing that thing over and over again and cultivating it. And I think the act of creating in itself is definitely a part of feeling fulfilled as a human. Honestly, if you don't really figure out what that is for you, I think it's hard to. It's a big empty pocket. It's an empty pocket.
Oh yeah, I would agree 100%. Yeah, definitely. It feels empty holes, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you, out of curiosity, you know, I love talking about music. I want to keep talking about music, but is there something else? Like, for instance, I mentioned, you know, I'm also into video production, but is it just straight up guitar is your thing, or are you also a master fisherman? What do you what's your other hobbies, man?
My other hobbies: smoking lots of weed.
That's something.
I don't really have much hobbies, man. I like reading a lot. I like writing, and that's about it. I mean, there's really not much to me. I'm a lonesome guy, you know. I don't know. I'm just it's hard to put into words. I'm not lonely. I'm just kind of lonesome inside, you know, all the time.
I get it.
So writing kind of breaks that lonesome up, you know.
Yeah. What are you writing? I mean, are you writing like stories? Are you writing like takes on things?
I write music. I'm still writing
Oh, straight up
music.
music. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you meant also like writing like actual like, you know, like stories or something like that. Yeah, man, just writing music. Do you have the ability to record yourself a bit, like to get your ideas down, or do you just use a phone and throw that up and that's where you get your ideas down?
All kinds of ways. Yeah, I do it all kinds of ways, you know.
Yeah.
However's convenient at the moment, probably.
Yeah, however's convenient, you know. I should have something out within the next year or so. I have a lot of material. It's just I needed to get some things straight first, you know.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we'd be excited. I mean,
Oh
that
yeah,
perks people's ears up to know that
sign
you might be releasing something in the
sign
next year
me
or two.
sign me up, Mike. If you got
Yeah.
something of your own coming out through this, I know that what you guys are doing with this Acid Bath reunion is like the perfect promo for all of that. I mean, is there also any, I got to ask since we got you on there, is there any talks between you guys of getting back and writing any kind of new material or anything?
Um, Not so much. I mean, there's a little bit, but not anything that's set in stone, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you never know. You know, I mean, it's
And it can't be forced, right? It's got, like, if it does happen, it just has to happen.
yes, like the song "Wither." You know, we just wrote that in the studio. It just came out. So
Hmm.
it's just you can't tell certain people, play this or you play that or you play. You just got to find the right mixture of guys. Someone you
Hmm.
can gel with, and
Mhm.
well, you don't have to tell them what to play. They already feel you.
Hmm.
And that's the whole trick. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm. Did you guys find that were you writing some of Pagan Terrorist Tactics on the road while you were touring with when the
Yes.
kite string pops? Okay, so there was like you guys were on the road 10 months a year, somewhere in there, 5 shows a week. So you guys were together all that time and you got to explore ideas and kind of gradually write Pagan Terrorist Tactics, or at least maybe a bulk of it, while you're on the road. And now you're doing these one show here, one show out there,
Right.
and not necessarily, you're not together in that way for that to naturally kind of just
Exactly.
manifest. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no,
So,
there's just like, sleeping on airplanes back and forth. So there's no,
right.
there's, I mean, of course, there's camaraderie. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm gonna always love Dax and Sammy for the rest of my life. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, it's different. It's just a little
Hmm.
different. The shows are a hell of a lot better, than the '90s.
Oh, I bet.
Awesome.
There's a lot of energy at our shows, so I really love our fans. I think Acid Bath has pretty much the best fans out there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's such a unique thing that you guys had that has like just grown in this underground way in an era where everybody, the way that 99% of everybody has been
Mhm.
established over the last 20 years has been accessibility. Like
Yeah.
putting out consistent stuff and being available and showing off their personal lives more and all that stuff. And you guys are still this total mystery box that has come back out of and it's like, what?
like
Oh,
like the
cool.
Loch Ness monster of music
Seriously.
has just woken up and started walking down Main Street again. I never in my life would I thought, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, if you asked me if I thought this would have been a thing, I never would have thought it. And
Me
here we
neither.
are. Here, yeah, that's why
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so happy for you, man. Like this is I I feel like I'm vicariously living through you doing this stuff now.
Right?
So
Right.
cool. The I forget what I was gonna say.
Well, I think, do you have any desire to actually be on the road as consistently as it would take to do like a tour leg? Or do you
Yeah.
actually ultimately prefer the spaced out shows like this?
Um, I mean, speaking for myself, I would just rather, get on a bus and do it nightly.
Hmm.
But it's just not possible. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but that that's that would be the best thing for me.
yeah, yeah.
But that's not the best thing for everyone. So
Hmm.
When
It's
you
a
think
lot.
about
I
it.
mean,
Sure. Yeah.
that's a lifestyle to get on there and do that. You got to drop like everything going on around you. I'm being selfish and hoping that happens because I want you guys to have the opportunity to do that chemistry we're talking about, where you can naturally just like, you're just hanging out. If you write something, somebody's just jamming a riff, however that collectively happens when you guys are on tour before, because of course it would be insanely amazing to keep this train going of things
Hmm.
that you never thought would happen, which is like, could you imagine even an Acid Bath new EP, especially in today's world? Like, people don't need full 10-song albums every time anymore. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
5 or 6
Yeah.
songs, you could
Yeah.
totally release that and it'd be like massive for the fan base that you guys got that has built up over time. It's
That would
exciting.
be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the it's some things I can't talk about, but it's basically the
Sure.
record company's got us fucking tied up. So
Yeah.
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 it's a lot of that.
That's
It's
frustrating.
Say
You
say
know,
say no more.
we understand. So that we're a band, and we made this podcast as a way. Initially, we started this podcast as a way of
Mhm.
helping promote our band. We're a weird band because we've never performed out live before. We came together, wrote an album, recorded it. Me, Dick, a drummer, and then we went to Brett Hessla. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Brett Hessla from Dark New Day. He great guy, Virgos Merlot. He was in a couple of awesome bands, and he recorded us, played bass on it, and then we got different singers from different bands all across the Southeast to participate in singing on each one of the songs, and then we built a whole scripted sci-fi comedy show. I said I make videos, so that's what I do for a living. And we unveil the songs within each episode of the show, right? So it's this weird concoction of a thing that we've been putting together and gradually kind of piecemealing out. But it's just, there's so many ways to try and put different concepts of music out there, and it's been really this podcast has kind of turned into a total side tangent of fun, man. We've been able to have some of the coolest conversations. We did it as a promotion tool, and this podcast is kind of turning into its own thing. And we've had on some great guests, and the reason I brought all that up was because Brett Hessla he shared on our a couple of podcasts ago his record contract scenario, and you don't need to talk about yours, but he is sitting on top of an insanely great solo album. He recorded us. He's a recording engineer, so he has the ability to record his album. He recorded it. It's amazing. He can't release it. He cannot release it. And his contract was sold over to another record company that was then sold to another record company, something along those lines. And now there's ownership, and he doesn't even have a point of contact that he could even reach out to get that fixed. He would have to spend absorbent amounts of money with lawyers to try and track down even the person that could potentially unlock his ability to put out more music under his name.
Yeah.
And so and he was from the early 2000s is when I think he signed that contract. So it's just like, it is so frustrating that, it's great that labels help give the exposure to bands, but it's so terrible that some bands that have some of the greatest music to release are stuck in this situation where they cannot just continue to put out more material. So that's just saying, we understand where you're coming from, and we understand you can't say specifics about it, but I am sorry for you, man. And we hope that maybe somehow something will get drawn to the attention of them, that they'll make the change happen, because there's clearly people that want that to happen.
Well, we just have to do our due diligence, and work on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, keep doing what you guys are doing and bringing the fans out, because it's working right now. Sold out shows every weekend.
Yes,
One
blast.
yeah,
That's
one
awesome.
show turned into over 20. I mean, I really do hope. It sounds like you got time with, lonesome Mike Sanchez on the airplane, thinking about music, thinking about writing material on your own. I'm really interested in what Mike Sanchez is going to put out in the
Me
next
too,
couple
man.
years.
Me
I
too.
gotta say, I'm excited for that, and I think that you're fully capable and a free man to do that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it. You know, I'm really not a free man.
Mm.
But you know, working on that.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's frustrating. Well, I definitely the best of luck to you on that endeavor. We're stoked to hopefully see some more music come out soon enough.
Appreciate that. You know,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man.
we just may have to do one for them. You know, and just
Mm-hmm.
work out some kind of deal. I'm not really sure, but we'll
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we'll
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
there.
and I think it's such, man, stuff's changed so much with what the expectation is of what music is. And it's almost like the music itself has become the free part. It's like I keep comparing it almost to like a trailer for the movie, and the movie is the live show. But
Hmm.
the way that the streaming platforms work, the expectation of music to just be free is
Oh,
so
this whole
weird.
social media shit. That's
Yeah.
got me all fucked up, man. I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell's going on nowadays with this. I mean, I'm an old cat, right? You know,
Hmm.
I was raised in the '70s and '80s, man. I don't really technology came after like I was over all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just having to
Hmm.
learn all this now. You know,
Hmm.
especially being on the road and having to learn all this new shit. Like I've never Ubered in my fucking life. You know, so so it's like fuck. So I'm
Yeah.
Ubering and lifting and you know doing all this fucking shit. But
Got
it's
apps for it.
yeah, it's like app for everything. There's no more service in America. It's apps for every fucking thing. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm getting used to that. You know, that's one thing that I'm frustrated about all the time. Um,
Yeah.
it's just you know, app for this, app for that, app for this, but pay me money for it. But you have to do all the work. So
Right.
I don't
And
understand
then
that.
they ask you for a 20% tip at the kiosk when nobody did
Yeah,
any service for you.
yeah, and that's something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to
Right.
round up? No,
Yeah.
motherfucker, round down sometimes. Let's round
Yeah.
down.
Let me round down. I need an extra cheeseburger. I'm not trying to pay for your cheeseburger.
Right, man. Just round up shit, man.
Oh
That's
man, I
great.
love it. I love it. So
Life's got weird, man. Life's gotten weird.
It's beyond weird.
yeah.
It's a whole different world, dude. And it's like as far as making art goes, it's getting even weirder. I mean, you don't need to keep up with all this stuff to know that the AI shit and the image generation stuff and like, I mean, it and the
Mhm.
music creation is crazy. Like say out some words, you type in some words into a music generating artificial intelligence, and it spits back out these songs. In some cases, that shit, I mean, it's not like it has soul to it or anything, but as far as stock issue pop songs and the way, you know, the way to cut through and do the formula, the classic record label formula, it spits that shit back to you in
Yeah.
seconds,
It's fucking
and
insane.
it sounds almost indiscernible, and it's crazy. That's why I think, you know, look, there's so many bands that sound like other bands, right? And that's
Right?
exactly what that algorithm's going to keep generating.
Oh
There,
my god.
but it's not going to generate acid bath. I mean, come on, dude.
There's
It's
no
too
way.
different. It's too different. That's the whole. I think hopefully, if I was going to have one goal, one wish to happen out of the artificial intelligence shit when it comes to music, and is that it pushes us further in the direction of having to do something that an AI cannot. You know, some way of making it
Yeah.
truly unique and human. You know, something that's not available for an algorithm to regurgitate. You know, that it pushes us further in the direction of searching for that sound that just perks up you know, the human. I hope that that's what it does. I think that's the only thing that's going to stick out among all that noise.
I
Hmm.
hope so. You know, I mean, you know, I guess if we just could push the boundaries, you know, and just overlook the producer what do you call it? The producer laid out type of
Yeah.
music. This
Yeah.
bullshit, fucking American Idol crap, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I've been basically living in a cave for 20 fucking years, right? So I get out of this cave, and here I am with this, you know. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm pretty much lost in this fucking new world here.
But you might, you know
But
what? That might be the
it needs
best.
you.
That might be the best thing, dude. You've been away from all of that. So that means that whatever you're working on, that stuff that's sitting behind closed curtains right now, I
Yeah.
mean, it's untouched by the, being in any way like kind of unconsciously, guided by any other people's sound. I mean, the soundscape that is out there right now that's so, popular among all the art stuff. I mean, there's commonalities to a lot of it. And you really have a signature sound that I haven't heard anybody try to reproduce, really.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, I really mean that. And, Dax has a super unique voice. And
Yes,
that
he
really,
does.
I think the chemistry that you guys have together, that's a big deal. Like, that's a big part of that equation that I'm trying to describe.
Thanks.
Hmm.
So, yeah, man, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Like, because for years and years, kind of the formula was right. A band would become successful, whether they signed on the radio, however, what have you. Then the other labels, the record label execs, whoever would scout out bands who had that same sound, right? And then there would be a series of other bands that come out with a similar sound, like the diet flavors of the band, the original band. Then the same thing happens still, but it's like hyperized by the sheer volume of things that are coming out, bands that are coming out, because it's easier nowadays than ever for independent artists to self-record, put their music out there, and then this algorithm will find, like, I get upset all the time with the streaming platform that I use, because I'll like a specific band or what have you, then it'll play that same band and four other bands, and it turns into the radio station all over again, where it's only playing the same four or five things over and over again, even though I've got it set for random to explore new music. And just all that, the sterile sounding synthetic stuff, all this heavy music, there were the bands all kind of have the same sound. Like, now is what I feel that your guys' type of sound, that just organic, natural, nothing's to a click. It's just four or five human beings in a room making extremely cool music, is needed more than ever.
Yeah, I don't think that happens much anymore due to social media, because I mean, and maybe that's the reason, is because we don't know each other like we used to.
Hmm.
Us people, we're just texting each other and talking on the phone and maybe FaceTiming, but we're not
Hmm.
getting up close to one another and really feeling each other's emotions.
Hmm.
Emotions is where everything is at.
Hmm.
If you can't feel a person's emotion and see if he really likes something or he's just saying he likes it, you can feel if somebody likes something, you know,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
that's what makes magic. I can't see making magic over a fucking phone.
Yeah.
It just doesn't jive with me. Maybe some
Hmm.
other folks can do that, but I can't.
I think it feels so. We've had different ups and downs, different ways of writing music and stuff, and when we're passing things back and forth, and then there's something so different about getting a text confirmation about a liking or something, or like, I don't know if I'm
Oh
feeling
yeah.
it. Like, there's no like there's we I've misread so many of those and what the actual
Yeah.
connotation was of what they meant. And I felt like shit for a night thinking like, damn, I thought they liked it, but the way totally misread the text.
Key
To
and
not
Peele.
get to feed off that energy in a conversation where even just getting to physically talk on the phone is a rarity at this point. you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and that's wild. That's honestly what's been really interesting about getting to do even this podcast, this show thing, is like, dude, this is like an hour a week where me and Dick get to talk to somebody straight up for an hour, you know, and like it's just the whole focus is just to have an actual conversation.
Yeah.
And it makes me realize how little of that I'm getting, even though we're doing this digitally and on phones, but still just a focused conversation where we can see each other, talk about stuff, and it's not just a text or an email back and forth. Man, it makes me realize how little that's actually happening, and my other creative combinations with other people for different things. And this is important. This is a really important thing, even doing something like this. I'd never write an album like this for latency issues and shit like that. But
That's why I love these shows, man. These shows there's so many people coming out and so many new people to meet. And there's, you know, I don't get my inspiration from other musicians. I get my inspiration from fans, you know, from just
beautiful.
talking to regular people. That's where I get my inspiration from just guys like you know, just
Cool.
Everyone, you know.
Yeah.
That's where I get it from. So it's really fun, you know, meeting all these new people and just, you know, having the chance to do this again.
Dude, we're thrilled about it. We're thrilled for you. I hate that I'm not going to be able to make it to the Tampa show. I'm in Tallahassee. Dick's a little bit closer to you, and I've got a funeral thing that I've got to go to that weekend. But the next time you guys play anywhere near Tallahassee within 5 or 6 hours, that I'm going to be at that show. And hopefully you guys will do that. We'll see. There is a great venue called Club LA. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's in Destin, Florida. And that's a great venue. The guy that runs that used to do Floyd's Music Store, which was a big deal in Tallahassee at the time. But Destin's that's a killer spot. If you guys are interested at all, I can connect you with the venue, or me and Dick can connect you with the venue owner there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a cool club, and they can pack probably the right size.
It's an 800 head room connected to a bowling alley. So, you know, they got an Irish pub in there, do, you know, 12, 13 lanes of bowling and 800 head room. It's a cool spot.
Yeah, it is cool, man. It's totally the actual room is 100% dedicated to being a rock venue. So it's big and loud, and it's something. You don't have to do that. I'm just, dude.
He just wants you to play closer to him because he's upset. He's upset. I got 4 tickets to the Tampa show, and his name was on one of them, and he can't go. So another friend of mine, Kurt Rogers, who's yet to be a guest on this podcast for whatever reason, vocalist,
awesome singer,
Tyrant.
Yeah.
He's coming with me, and my son's +1 is going to be there. So Mike, we'll definitely be screaming and hollering at you. I'll wear the Acid Bath shirt, try to get up front for you.
Great, man.
Yeah,
Well,
dude, so great talking to you, man.
Yeah, it was a nice, I guess, venture into the podcast world.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Are we your first?
I think you're my second or third.
Okay. All right.
So,
Awesome.
It's good enough for me, man. We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you all so much, and have a great evening.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
You too,
Mike.
too.
Take care, brother.
man. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the podcast, that's awesome. We really appreciate it. But you should check out our full actual web series if you have not seen it yet, because this is where we put all the effort into a production. It's a sci-fi comedy, but we're a rock band, and so we put music videos inside of each episode.
No views but your own easy escape. Don't pay no mind to what they say. They're in their own world anyway.
Each episode features a new singer on each song that we unveil within the episode.
And will they
All unique singers from the Southeast region, most of them from right here in the Florida Panhandle, and all independent, unsigned, unknown artists until now.
No matter how hard I try, turn it down.
Premise of the show, Ash and I are a couple of bonehead guitar players living off the grid, trying to save humanity, which has been brainwashed from an artificial intelligence stripping us away of our creativity and our creative spirit.
We developed a mind travel machine to go into people's brains and collaborate with their inner muses, bringing back music that is completely organic from human muse collaborations. Enter Cue the Muses. You know what, we're kind of getting sidetracked, man. There's only so much time for frequency absorption. We need to hop on it. Can you fire up the cadence tubes?
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and get my shoes tied.
Okay. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the little bell. Tell YouTube that we matter, that you like us, and that you want to see more of us, because that's the only way that happens. Stay tuned.